Welcome to the NCW Library's Variety Show. Thank you for joining us today. We have a full show of STEM, stories, yoga, and more. Let's get started with Miss Heather as she defies gravity with string. Hi everyone, hola a todos. I am Miss Clare and today I have another felt story to share with you. Yo me llamo Miss Clare y hoy tengo otro cuento de fieltro para compartir con ustedes. So our story for today is called Dear Zoo and it's based off a book by Rod Campbell. Nuestro cuento de hoy se llama Querido Zoo y es basado en un cuento de Rod Campbell. Okay, let's start our story. Ya vamos a empezar. I wrote to the zoo to ask for a pet. Escribí al zoo para que me enviaran una mascota. They sent me a... what do you think it's gonna be? A ver qué va a ser. An elephant. Me enviaron un elefante. He was too big. Era demasiado grande. I sent him back. Lo devolví. There you go, Mr. Elephant. So they sent me a giraffe. Me enviaron una jirafa. She was too tall. Era demasiada alta. I sent her back. La devolví. Adiós, señora jirafa. So they sent me a lion. Me enviaron un león. He was too fierce. Era demasiado feroz. I sent him back. Lo devolví. There you go, Mr. Lion. So they sent me a camel. Me enviaron un camello. He was too grumpy. Era demasiado gruñón. Can you make a grumpy face? ¿Puedes hacer una cara de gruñón así? Nice job, everyone. Muy bien. I sent him back. Lo devolví. So they sent me a snake. Me enviaron una serpiente. She was too scary. Me daba mucho miedo. I sent her back. La devolví. So they sent me a monkey. Me enviaron un mono. He was too naughty. Era demasiado travieso. I sent him back. Lo devolví. So they sent me a ribbit, a froggy. Me enviaron una rana. She was too jumpy. Era demasiada saltarín. I sent her back. La devolví. Goodbye, Miss Froggy. So they thought long and hard. Lo pensaron mucho. And they sent me a puppy. Me enviaron un cachorro. He was perfect. Era perfecto. I kept him. Me lo quedé. The end. Well, that is it for today, and I will see you next week. Adiós, hasta la próxima. Wow, that was some STEM magic with Heather. I hope you all try that experiment at home. And I always love a trip to the zoo. Now, let's join Miss Melissa for a yoga flow, and then we will get a great book recommendation from Miss Leslie for grown-up.
Hi, so happy you could join me today for some yoga. The practice today will be a nice gentle flow with some repetition and just allowing ourselves to slow down, check in with our body, and check in with our breath. So let's begin in tabletop, making sure our shoulders are below our wrists, knees are below our hips. Maybe we widen those fingers, allowing that nice foundational base. And let's find cat-cow. So we're gonna sink the front of our body towards our mat, sending our gaze out towards the front of the room or up to the ceiling, and then curling our back, tucking our chin. Kind of waking up our spine. Finding this movement to be nice and gentle. And allowing ourselves to notice our inhales and our exhales. And just moving in sync with our breath. Let's do 2 more here. Last one. Meeting back in neutral. We're going to extend that left leg back, tucking those toes, pressing into the ball of that left foot. We might feel a nice opening in the back of our leg. And then shifting, lifting the weight off that foot, allowing it to rise about hip height. Finding that foundational base and then extending that right arm forward, finding bird dog. Making sure we're aware of our breath. And then let's release that left knee down onto the mat, Inhale, extend that right arm up. We're gonna do thread the needle, so we're gonna bring that right hand back behind that left, coming to rest on that right shoulder, and allowing that left forearm to support us in this pose. And breathing here, relaxing our jaw and face. And then sending your energy into that left arm, pressing up, finding tabletop. You might need to reposition yourself a little bit here. And then we're gonna extend that right leg out, pressing into the ball of that right foot, feeling that nice opening in the back of our leg. And then letting go of that weight, allowing that right leg to rise. Finding your balance here, reaching out with that left arm. And noticing that pulling in of that midsection there. This is kind of using our full body. And then releasing that right leg down, inhaling, reaching that left arm up, threading the needle on this side as it comes back behind that right arm, resting on that left shoulder. Allowing yourself to breathe here. And then pushing your weight into that right palm, finding tabletop. Here we're gonna tuck those toes, pressing into our first down dog, making sure our knees are nice and bent. If we're feeling any tightness in our hamstrings. Coming into half stance. We're gonna inhale here, hands up towards the ceiling, exhale, bringing our hands onto our hips. And we're gonna do a nice little 90-degree angle with our legs. So shifting our weight onto that left leg, bringing that right leg forward. And then finding that balance. We're gonna inhale those hands up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, allow that right arm to come down next to your body, and then reaching that left hand over to the right, finding a nice little side bend. And if it feels better to have that right hand on your hip, you can do that too. And then inhale back to center, bring that right hand to meet the left, and then allow that left hand to come down. And then finding that reaching over to the left side, and you can always bring that left hand onto that left hip as well. And then inhale back to center, and then bringing that right leg to meet the left. Let's find that on the opposite side. So shifting our weight onto that right, left foot comes forward, inhaling hands up towards the ceiling, and then allow that right arm to come down or onto your hip, reaching over to the right side as we open our left side. And then inhale back to center, hands can meet together or stay down. And then allow that left arm to come down, reaching over to the left side with our right arm. And then inhale, bring our hands to our hips. Left leg meets the right. And then we're gonna play with a little balance and half stance here. So I'm gonna give you two options. So if you're having any discomfort happening in your knees, you can always come into standing and play with tree pose. Or you can stay here in half stance, and we're gonna shift our weight onto that left knee. Hands can either be at your hips or kind of loose to kind of allow you, and we're just gonna move that leg. However, just kind of play with this, have fun with it, moving it from side to side, maybe front to back. And then if you had any discomfort in your knees, knowing that Finding that focal point or drishti, shifting the weight onto that left leg, finding either that kickstand here or bringing the bottom of that foot to the middle of your calf. Hands at hips or hands at heart center. So choosing whatever works for you and then coming back, maybe swaying your hips from side to side. And then when you're ready, let's find that on the opposite side. So finding your focal point or drishti, a non-moving object, and then allowing your hands to just be free, kind of playing with that movement, or more stable with your hands on your hips. And then shifting that weight onto the right leg, and then playing with that movement. This is fun to play with balance when you're not fully standing. What does it feel like? And just having fun with a little bit of movement practice. And then coming back to center, and then swaying those hips. And then let's come back. We're just gonna inhale our hands up towards the ceiling, exhale. And then we're gonna make our way onto our backs. Making sure that the bottom of our feet are touching the floor, knees are bent, lowering down onto our mat. Extending our arms out to a T pose. And we're gonna find a little bit of windshield wipers. So feet can either be together or coming as wide as your mat. And you're letting your knees fall from one side to the other, nice and gentle. Maybe if you feel a little bit of tension, you might hold it in that spot for a little bit. And maybe send your breath to that tight spot. And then come back through center, exhale, releasing the legs to the other side. And we're just gonna do this a couple times, lengthening the movement to your breath, going at your own pace. Let's do one more on each side. And then coming back to center. If your feet are together, we're gonna walk them out to the width of our mat, allowing our knees to come together to support one another. And we're gonna bring one palm to our chest, one palm to our belly. And if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes here, or just allow that release and relaxation to come into your face, letting go of that skin around your eyes, allowing your jaw to relax. We're just gonna end our practice today with some intentional breath work here. So sending your awareness into your chest and belly, and feeling the rising and falling of your body in this space. Allow your shoulders to relax into your mat. Allow your arms to relax. Maybe noticing how your breath is becoming more gentle. We're going to do 2 more inhales and exhales here. Last one. And then releasing your hands down onto your sides. Bringing your feet so they're about hip-width distance apart. Rolling on to either side that feels more comfortable to you. And then staying there for a moment. And then when you feel ready, slowly coming up into easy pose. Bring your hands to our heart center. Thanking yourself for showing up today. Maybe playing with some new movements and allowing yourself to have a little bit of fun. Namaste.
Hi, my name is Leslie Bourne and I work at the Wenatchee Library. I'm here to do a book talk about one of our adult summer reading selections. This is The Library of the Unwritten by Seattle-based author A.J. Hackwith. It's the first in a contemporary fantasy series, and the second book is supposed to come out later this year, which I'm very excited for because this book is so creative, it is so clever. When I first started reading it, it's not as dark, but I was reminded of Lev Grossman's The Magicians, even Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere, because I was just immediately brought into this world that's parallel to our own, and I wanted to see how the world works, how things are built, how they compare to our own. So if that's something you like about the books you read, then I really would highly recommend this. So it follows the perspectives of a few characters. One of them is Claire. She is a librarian in the Library of the Unwritten, as the title says. And in the Library of the Unwritten, books are kept that haven't been finished yet. And sometimes the characters from those books tend to sneak away. So when we first start reading this, Claire has to go find one of those characters. But what happens is that she and her companions come across a dangerous, mysterious scrap of paper, and they have to figure out what to do with it. Again, so creative and clever. Author Shannon McGuire gave a review, and it's right here on the front of the book. And she says it's like The Good Place meets Law & Order Bibliophile Crime Unit. And I think she is so spot on with that. If you've ever watched The Good Place, it kind of has a similar feel to that. So let us know what you think if you've read this, or if you'd like to give it a try. This book is available as an ebook and as an e-audiobook through our Overdrive service. And to get started with that, you go to ncrl.org/ebooks, and you can get signed up there. So thank you, everyone. Hope you have a great day.
What a great show! Thanks for joining us today. Remember, our mail order library service is always open, and we are offering curbside pickup at each of our 30 library locations. Also, with our library card, you can have access 24 hours a day to all the resources on our website, including digital books, movies, music, magazines, newspapers, and so much more. Head to www.ncwlibraries.org to get started and find us on Facebook for all the latest news, events, and fun. See you next time. And remember, be kind and read on.